On this episode, more talk, less email. Hey everybody, this is the quarter show. And I want to go over a topic that we talked about this morning in our sales muscle with the entire team. And I was thinking about this a couple days ago, and I was thinking, I read a lot, I study a lot of successful people, I've done a lot myself. And I will tell you this, the most successful people that I know, certainly in sales, certainly entrepreneurs, I swear, they talk all day, every day. They talk from 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., through to 6 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever that number is. They talk all day, right? If they can keep themselves in a position where they talk all day, they end up making a lot of money. You look at people like Tony Robbins or Gary Vaynerchuk or many other successful people. They talk all day, whether it's to their staff or selling. They're always talking. They're always communicating. And I will tell you, in sales, it's very easy to fall in the trap of just emailing. And I was saying to my team this morning, I was like, look, you can get into this situation where you rate your ability to write sort of grossly higher than it actually is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to critique your writing ability. But even if you are an incredible writer, if you think about it, even if you are an incredible writer, and by the way, I've read about 600 books, and I can think about 5 that I think are brilliant writers. But even if you are a brilliant writer, it takes too long to persuade and come across with what you want to say, right? You have to sit there and map it out and work on it and make it perfect. And then, so let's say you send this perfect email. Let's say you do. You're banking on the idea that they're going to read it. You're banking on, you've got this long email. What if they don't even read it? What if it hits their spam box? What if it never even receives? They just delete it or whatever. You put all that emphasis into it and they don't do anything. Now, the one thing you do know is when you make a phone call or you put a voice memo in or you do a voice call, voicemail or something like that, or you connect on the phone, it's like, they got it. They got it because you're speaking to them or you delivered it for sure, right? And it's one of those things where 9 times out of 10, a salesperson or entrepreneur or whatever, you can use your voice to communicate. You can talk and you can persuade better than you can write. I believe that. I really do. Even if you're a great writer, you don't even know if they're going to read it. But let's be honest, people are not that great at writing, and generally, and their ability to sort of articulate and persuade through the written form is not usually the same as what you can say on the phone. And when you're on the phone or in person in a meeting, the more you do that over and over and over again, the more competent you get at that. You start to become a master. It's like Malcolm Gladwell talks about in Outliers, the book Outliers. It's like you put in that 10,000 hours of communication. After a while, you get comfortable with it, and you can just, what they're going to say, what you're going to say, and you just communicate, and you're comfortable with it. But the downside of the email, when I always say what scares me is when I hear nothing. When I hear my sales team not talking, that scares me, and I hear tippy tap on the keyboard. Now I know we're in trouble, because here's what's happening. They develop considerations, thoughts, or whatever, which leads to fear, which leads to confront problems. They get rusty on their confront. That drops out, right? That starts reducing and drops out. And then what happens is their doingness or their action level or their level of do drops down as well. And now they're just sitting here behind a computer typing emails. That's not how to close deals, okay? The more action you take, the more you communicate, the more you call people, the more you do, the higher your confront, the higher it sort of snowballs into more action, more doing, more of this, more of that, and more closing deals, and more doing business, and more driving revenue if you're an entrepreneur in sales or whatever. That's where you want to go. You want to get comfortable with it. And if you can find a way to get yourself to talk from morning till night, and I know it sounds kind of funny. Obviously, when you're on a sales call, obviously you're asking questions and you're listening a lot. But the point is, be in a position, be in an environment where you're talking, where it's communication, you're engaged, And if you can figure out how to do that from morning till night, I swear you will make more money, you will do better, you will sell more products, and it's better for it's better for the company, it's better for your clients, you're delivering more, There's nothing scarier than a sales rep that's just literally hunkered down hiding behind their email, hiding behind their CRM, and just like, and after a while morale drops, it gets freaky, and like, oh, nobody's getting back to me.
There was one of the cool things when we were talking about this yesterday that I really got out of it was, I don't really need to use email for very much at all. I can call, I can talk to people, I can leave voicemails, I can send voice memos, I can text voice memos, I can email voice memos, and one thing that really struck me as we were talking about it yesterday was how much communication I can do just verbally and how quickly that communication can get done, but then also the expectation of the prospect. So with your prospects, that the way that anything is going to get resolved and the way that anything is going to get sold 99% of the time plus is with a conversation.
Yeah.
Is with that human-to-human conversation, whether in person or on the phone. It's the back and forth. And when you get that person on the phone, that back and forth resolves things much, much more quickly than email ever can or ever will. So I realized, and it happened immediately, which is where if you email with a prospect, they email you, of course. Very few prospects. So they email you, you email back, and now the expectation is I'm going to send him an email and he'll email me back. Mm-hmm. And then I can take my time, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, and I can email him again, he'll email me back. But if I was to only call, I get an email, I leave a message. I get another email, I send a voice memo, I get another email, I call again, and they realize he's only going to call me.
Yeah.
So the thing to do would they'll naturally, and that happened right away. As soon as we were talked about this, and then prospect, actually a client, emailed me, and I called immediately, and he called me back. Like he got the idea very quickly. I'm calling only.
It sets a precedence. Right? It sets a precedence for what you're going to do. And touching on the voice memo thing, what Ben said, like I've had people send me a long email and I look at the email, I'm like, oh my gosh, they have all these questions. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to answer all these questions. And I start looking at it going, how long is this gonna take? Like I'd have to sit here and write all the different things out. And even if I do, they might not read it and it might not come across. It might be not received well or duplicated or assimilated. And I was like, you know what? So I'm like, forget it. So what I do is I grab my voice recorder app on my iPhone. I grab this thing, I record. I read their email. I record it in there. Like, look, hey John, I get it. Here's the email. I got the thing. Here's my answer. Da 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 da. Go through the whole thing. I save it. I fire that back as my response. I email that back over as my response. I don't even respond to the email. It's faster. It's better. It's more succinct, and my communication comes across, and they listen to the whole thing, and it helps sell. But you live communicating out of your mouth, right? That's where you have to live. That's where you have to be all the time. And if you can find a way to do that from bell to bell every single day, you're gonna be so much better off. And I think that, look, don't get me wrong, I love email. I do. I love text message. I love email. I think it's a vehicle. It's good for certain things. Send proposals. You send a link. You send this. You send a testimonial. Whatever it is. You send a PDF. But it's a courier, right?
Yeah.
It's a courier service, and you don't rely on your courier to sell for you. You rely on you to sell for you. And that means live communication in person, on the phone, video chat on Skype, voice memo, text video message, whatever, right? Get yourself live. Get that communication to come across. That's where the sales are made. You have to connect human to human. Human to human. That's where the sales are made. Yeah. Don't hide behind email. Don't hide behind these other vehicles and stuff like that. Your confront will drop down, your action level will drop down, your fear and considerations will spike up, and next thing you know, you're paralyzed, you're toast. You're not doing anything, It's like the scariest thing is a sales team where it's just silent. You walk in the room, it's just silent. People behind emails and just tippy-tap. It's like, now we know we're dead, right? We're dead. You want a live sales team, they're out, everybody's talking, everybody yap, 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 yap. You get that going, you get it going all day, and you're doing really, really well. All right? Hope that helps. We have more coming at you soon. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already right there by hitting that red button, and hit the like button and share it on social. We really, really appreciate it. But we'll be working to bring you more soon here.